Joining us now from Brixton Metals, we have Michael Rapsch, VP of IR. Michael, there have been drill results flowing from your project, Thorn Project. But before we dive into those highlights, let's first get a reminder of all the drilling that's been happening, because you just wrapped up drilling at Thorn Project. Tell us about the targets, the scope of works.
Yeah, hi. It's great to be on your program again. And yes, Brixton has completed its 2025 drilling season, and we completed about just over 12,500 meters in about 53 holes. And the priority and the focus was across of three targets, namely the Trapper Gold target, the Cam Creek area target, as well as the newly identified porphyry copper gold target called Catalyst. So we are very excited about that. And the initial assay results started to come out in July and have been, we have been reporting basically over the last 6 to 8 weeks. And just recently, or as recent as yesterday and last week, we were announcing some very good, very decent and strong looking Trapper Gold results.
So let's get into the numbers. Tell us all of the highlights from the assays back thus far.
That's a lot of highlights, really. And I think what I want to do is maybe encourage your viewers and subscribers to go to our website. We got a ton of information there, a most current PowerPoint as well. But let's focus on the two results from last week and yesterday, simply because, and maybe I can address the elephant in the room in a positive way, is that we are now looking at an unprecedented gold price of over $4,000 an ounce spot price. So that is huge. And as we have just discussed before coming on the call, I think that there's yet a small gap to be bridged between the relative price performance of gold and the juniors, but I do believe that this will happen soon. And even the investment banks are getting all excited and forecasting $4,900 gold, for example, next year. But let's concentrate on the Trapper results. So last week we had results out from two drill holes, and they were very important to us. Maybe not as high grade as in last year and previous years, but very important when you think of continuity and expanding a known mineralized zone. And that's exactly what happened with the two drill hole that we reported last week, October 1st. So, and when it comes to forming and delineating a deposit, it's important to show continuity, and that's exactly what happened. So we have been extending to the southern limit of the main mineralized zone at Trapper. And yesterday, the results were almost spectacular, in the sense that we announced 38.5 meters of 4 grams per ton gold, including almost 2 meters of 39.6 grams per ton gold. Now, the objective of that hole was to kind of do a little bit more of an infill drilling and really delineate the high-grade portion of that zone, as well as following up to a drill hole that we drilled in 2022, where we had 64 meters of 5.7 grams. So very high-grade in nature. It was some more infill drilling focused, but we were very encouraged about those results.
So although we do have many assay results yet to come in from the latest drilling across the three priority targets, it does seem from these results that Trapper is racing to the top of the pile in terms of priority.
Yeah, I guess what I like to call it is probably the more of the low-hanging fruit of all the targets, not to basically downgrade the other targets, but like I said, in an environment where we see $4,000 gold, it's definitely more of the low-hanging fruit. And also to remind you viewers that all of the drilling that took place this year was near surface. So, the average depth was down to about 200 meters. None of the deep holes that we have done in previous years. So everything you see is really near surface drilling.
And finally, Michael, can you let us know roughly when we can expect the final assay results to come in and be reported?
Yeah, time-wise, so as we speak, we completed the drill program. We are currently winterizing our camp. That means that does not mean that we have no more news. What will happen over the next 2 to 2.5 months is that we will report all of the outstanding assays. I want to say there's about 30 to 35% of assays still pending. That is about 17 holes from Trapper. You got, all of the holes from that newly identified catalyst porphyry copper gold target. And then you got still a handful of holes coming to market from the Camp Creek target areas. So plenty of news still forthcoming, at least in this quarter. And so please watch out for those.
We'll be standing by. Thank you, Michael.
Always great to be on the show.